So Ron DeSantis was giving a speech to first responders here, and he decided, seemingly out of nowhere, to take a shot at John Fetterman. So let's watch and we'll react to it.
So did you guys hear the U.S. Senate just eliminated its dress code because you got this guy from Pennsylvania who's got a lot of problems. I mean, let's just be honest, like how he got elected. Well, I mean, he got elected because they didn't want the alternative, but he wears like sweatshirts and hoodies and shorts, and that's his thing. So he would campaign in that, which is your prerogative, right? I mean, if that's what you want to do. But to show up in the United States Senate with that and not have the decency to put on proper attire, I think it's disrespectful to the body. And I think the fact that the Senate changed the rules to accommodate that, I think speaks very poorly to how they consider that. Look, we need this country, we need to be lifting up our standards in this country, not dumbing down our standards in this country. And this is an example why.
All right, so first let's talk a little bit. Ooh, I got a kitty behind me. Hey, buddy. That's Salem, everybody. He's the $1 trillion cat because we needed 2 surgeries to remove door stoppers from his belly when he decided to eat them. Say hi, Salem. Okay. All right. So first, let's talk a little bit about the dress code thing. So does it bother me that they made the dress code more lenient? No, it doesn't bother me. In fact, the opposite kind of bothered me, that they had such a strict dress code, because I feel like it's completely dishonest and disingenuous for these totally unserious people to be wearing their serious clothing and pretending like, oh, yes, we're serving the country, and we're being very, very astute and very proper, and we are the elites of this country. Like, that annoyed me. It's like, no, you guys have like a 19% approval rating. Everybody hates you. You're deeply corrupt. You're all being bribed by corporations and lobbyists and billionaires, and you're doing their bidding. You're not representing your constituents. So if anything, the kabuki theater of pretending to be serious people when they're not, that bothered me. So it didn't bother me that they made the standard more lenient. I would say, though, that ideally what I would prefer is, have, people wear some business attire. It could be, more casual business attire. Tie, not necessarily a big deal whether or not you have it to me. But I would prefer the NASCAR logo idea, which is you have to wear patches, logos, for everybody who you've taken money from. And this way we know when they're casting their votes, oh, the reason they're doing that is because they're bought by the big banks. That's why they want to bail out the big banks. Oh, the reason that this Republican is denying climate change is because he's taken a lot of money from ExxonMobil and Chevron. I see it right there on his jacket. So that's what I would prefer. That's what would be ideal to me. And look, to be fair, I see arguments on both sides. I think Adam Johnson made a great point on Twitter when he said, getting rid of the dress code, there's going to be some insufferable stuff that might happen now. So you might have a bunch of Republicans from Texas or wherever, and they're out there in a cowboy hat and a flannel shirt and some cowboy boots, and they're pretending like, I'm salt of the earth and I'm with the working men and women. And it's like, oh, God, now this is even faker than when you were wearing the suit, right? I think the suit itself is kind of fake because you're unserious people. But now you're going to do the whole, I'm a working man, as I take a tremendous amount of money from Wall Street and the military-industrial complex, and I don't want to raise the minimum wage, and I don't support unions, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, I see arguments on both sides of this. But DeSantis is going out there, taking a shot at John Fetterman, and Fetterman, with an elbow from the top rope, chimes in, and homie says, I dress like he campaigns. Oh, Ron, you were kind of out over your skis, Ron. Ron, you're outclassed here, bro. You're outmatched. Homie just ethered you into oblivion with one line. By the way, Nate Silver also said something, trying to do the enlightened centrist argument. And he's like, I want to start a political party that doesn't care what Lauren Boebert does in a movie theater and what John Fetterman wears. Something like that. And Fetterman clapped back at him and said, I dress like you predict. Oh, he's back on his game, man. Fetterman's back on his game. I've seen a couple interviews with him recently, and he had a tremendous amount of trouble talking after the stroke. It's clear that his communication skills had degraded massively. Now, that doesn't mean that his brain wasn't functioning properly. It just means he was unable to get the ideas across because the stroke impacted him in that way. But he's improved quite a bit since the stroke. Now he's able to be a lot more coherent than he was. And also, let's not forget, it was one of the funniest victories of all time when Oz, this elitist goon, Dr. Oz, was running against Fetterman. Fetterman couldn't complete a sentence and still beat Oz. Oh, that was glorious. That was fun. I enjoyed that very much. But anyway, there you go. Ronnie D, Meepo Ron, Pudding Ron, Ron DeSanctimonious. Be careful what you wish for. Because apparently, Ron is 0-2 against the big beefy boys. Of course, the big beefy boys being both Trump and now John Fetterman. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.